Are you really you? How do you know you're really you? Can you prove it? How do you prove it? Well, there's one thing that you can't do. You can't see yourself except in a mirror. We all have an idea of ourselves, our concept of self. But where did that come from? Because we can see and feel, but are we really us? What you see in mirror, is that really you? Because you see yourself as the body, and then you see yourself as the consciousness. But which one is you? It's what we see in the mirror, a trick. Because if it's a trick, then that means we are not what we see. So are we what we see? Or are we what we think we are? Or are we what we think we see? Because if we think we see, then are we seeing? Or are we thinking we see? How can we really be sure we are who we think we are? Because if we look at this body right now, this physical body is made up of cells, and those cells are made up of chemicals, and those chemicals are made up of particles. And those particles, their behavior is governed by the laws of physics. So if we zoom out enough, we are just a collection of particles whose behavior is governed by the laws of physics. So if that's all we are, then how do we get to this idea of I am? Because if it's a trick, then who's playing the trick on? Who's experiencing the trick? If you look at a picture of yourself, is that you? Because when we look at a picture of ourselves, we recognize ourselves. We say, that's me, that's me. But what's really happening is that there's a collection of pixels that make up this image. And if we zoom in enough, we'll see that these pixels are made up of chemicals, and those chemicals are made up of particles. And those particles are governed by the laws of physics. So when we look at a picture of ourselves, are we really looking at ourselves, or are we looking at a trick? If it's a trick, then how does the trick work? How does the trick of the picture work? Because in order for the picture to be a trick, it has to be a representation of something. And that something has to be a little more than just a collection of chemicals and particles. It's just a representation, okay? And we ascribe meaning to that representation. So in a sense, the picture is us, but it's not us looking at the picture. It's us looking at a representation of ourselves. So are pictures witchcraft? Are they a form of magic? Because what they do is they capture a moment in time and they hold it still so we can look at it. In a sense, they freeze time, and we ascribe meaning to that frozen moment. So maybe pictures aren't a trick. Maybe they're a gift. A gift of what? A gift of presence. A gift of absence.